Awareness versus attachment. That's the conversation we're going to have here today on Self Love Monday. How you guys doing? This is Ron Simplified Myers, author, podcaster, and your uplifting life partner. Now, have you ever been at that point where you've gotten angry or you got frustrated or you got depressed? I mean, matter of fact, today I had someone cut me off in traffic and I was like, and I'm like, and I had to catch myself. Well, those emotional responses, we have to recognize, as I've said before, this body, those thoughts, they're not you. And so that's really what the purpose of this conversation is to learn not to attach yourself to those emotions, being able to become aware of what's taking place. So in this particular instance, what I'm getting to is when the person cut me off, the first thing to ask myself is, are you being aware? Because the instant frustration came out, and then I did do the are you being aware afterwards, but I had already responded. So I want to share that part because that's called being human beings. We all go through those particular instances until we get better and better, and those instances become rarer and rarer that they occur in our life. So the fact that I decided to catch that and go, okay, do not be attached. Understand that was a frustrating thought, a frustrating feeling that just passed by me. I didn't fight it because, as we know, what you resist persists, which means it will continue to keep happening in your life. So I had to say, are you being aware, just to bring me present to what's going on right now, and so that I can get off of the frustration, the anger, whatever the emotion is that I was, and being able to step back and go, okay, you are being aware that there are people that make moves, they make mistakes. There are people out here that will cut you off on purpose. They're trying to get in accidents. Those are things that are in the real world, but I can't allow those things to wrestle away my peace of mind. And so therefore I have to just become aware of all the possibilities. Of course, not all of them, but enough to get me at peace, and being able to look at the whole situation. And so it calmed me down instantly when I did that, because I was like, are you being aware? And then I said, okay, I am being aware. And so what that does, the moment you say, are you being aware, you become aware. And so once I became aware, I just said, okay, now how do we learn from this so that we can move forward? See, the key is the attachment. We have to understand the moment you start to attach yourself to things, the better chance that you're going to get mad, frustrated, and that type of stuff. Because an example would be, you watch sports and you watch people that tie themselves, attach themselves to certain teams to the point where if that team loses, their whole day is destroyed. Don't let them lose a championship. I remember hearing somebody talk about their team, that a soccer team had gotten, I guess it was like world events, but the one team got kicked to a lower level in one country, I should say. And the person that drives a bus actually saw people from another team who had beat them, basically, that pushed them, caused them to get in the lower bracket, and ran them over at a bus stop and killed them. Folks, first off, you're taking other people's loss. And the main thing is you attached yourself to something that's not you. We have to learn how to detach from these things. I mean, there are teams I learned a long time ago. I used to be one of those, because my dad, I used to tease him. I said, man, you're going to have a heart attack one day watching these teens, because he'll turn the channel, scream and holler, get upset with them, and then turn the channel and then for a little bit, and then come back and start cussing it out again. And so I used to tell him that, and it's amazing. Now he's gotten better in terms of, now he won't even watch the games. He'll wait till it's over to see if his team won, then go watch it. Which I told him, we still have to get you to detach from the teams so that you don't get to that point to begin with, and you're able to watch them live. And that's what I got to. And I did it a long time ago, but what actually got me to that, not understanding this detachment and that type of stuff, I did it, but I didn't know that's what I was doing, is I recognized, I forgot which one of the LA teams had won a championship, but I told myself, I said, wait a minute. They didn't say, hi, Ron. They didn't send me a t-shirt. They're definitely not going to send me a trophy or a ring. I said, wait a minute. They don't even know I exist. And I'm like, whoa. So why have I attached these teams to me in a way that my peace, my rest, is in their hands based on what happens to them? And from that day on, now I pull for the teams that I like. But the attachment, the emotional attachment is no longer there. I'm attached in terms of that's the team I'm going to pull for if I'm watching the sport. I'm not attached to the outcome, which means whether win or lose, I hope they win, but I'm not going to lose a second of sleep if they lose. I'm not going to lose a second of sleep like the Dodgers. They just lost to the Braves last night. Now they're down 2-0 in the National League Championship. This video is in 2021. What is today? October, what is today? 18th, 19th? Anyway, the day after the Dodgers lost. Bottom line is, I wish they'd have won. Now they're down 2-0. They still got a chance to come back and win, and I think they will. But folks, I'm not losing a single second of sleep. I didn't get frustrated. I didn't get angry. I was like, okay, they lost next. Turn the station, start listening back to more of my inspirational stuff. That's what I'm talking about, learning how to detach. Some people, I remember a few years back, one of the football teams, NFL teams, won the Super Bowl. I mean, not won, they actually lost the Super Bowl. And their starting tight end was caught on the news that night at a club dancing and acting crazy and this and that. And people had a problem with that because it was like, you just lost the Super Bowl. What are you doing at a club? Folks, what was he supposed to do? See, that's where I'm saying the detachment. That has nothing to do, unfortunately, a lot of people link up your commitment to win and whether you're a loser, or the labels we like to put on people because of the fact that that person is more at actually peace in their life. They were able to detach from the game. They went out, give everything you have to win. When it's all said and done, when the game is over, I used to share that with my nephew all the time. I said, when the game is over, if you gave your all, always walk with your head up high, and there's never should be a reason that you should be down, because all you can do is all you can do. Don't let the world try to make you feel like you should be guilty or you should be down and you should be depressed. And folks, these are bad things that have been passed on from generations. You have to learn how to detach from that stuff. That has nothing to do, and people don't get this, unfortunately. There's some people that say, that's a loser mentality. No, you go out and you give all that you can because that's all you can do. And then you live with the results. That's really what it comes down to. And me being down, me being depressed, me being frustrated, me crying, me going through the things that people are telling you that's what you should do, like that player should have, I guess, stayed in a hotel room and been totally depressed for the next day, two, or however long these people think that he should be now. Instead, it was like, okay, we didn't win. I'm still going out and enjoying myself. I applaud him for being able to move forward. And that's really the whole idea behind this, is understand, even if the frustration crossed his mind right after the game, or the depression, or whatever it is that people wanted him obviously to feel, even if it happened briefly, that's where this being aware, he can become aware that, whew, man, depression just crossed my mind, or frustration, or anger, or whatever the negative emotions just crossed my mind. That's not me. I'm not going to attach me to those emotions. That detachment is how you get past them very, very quickly, because you understand it's not you. And so he's able to detach from it real quick and go, whew, that passed by there, but I'm gonna let it keep going because I need to move forward. So the awareness to the emotion, you're not denying it, because with that which you resist persists. If you try to fight and say, well, I'm not going to be mad and I'm not going to be angry, guess what? You're going to stay mad. You're going to stay angry. Because again, those things that we push against will continue to come forward. So what you have to do is become aware of it, detach from it, and watch it go past you. Now, why is this important? Because if you do this thing in every area of your life, then the things that you want, that you say that you want in your life, It makes it easier for them to flow into your life. That's the way the universe operates, law of attraction, whatever the case may be. I mean, if you had that vision, I mean, that wish where the genie popped up and said, what three things do you want? And you're sitting there going, well, I just want to be happy. And then he goes to give you that wish. You go, nah, because I don't think that's going to work. For me, that's just not. Folks, you understand how long you're going to be there? If everything you go, nah, no. You're fighting anything from ever taking place, and the universe operates that way. You have to not only ask for it, believe it done, and relax and know that it. And the example that we use, and you've heard me use before, is like a kid at Christmas or even their birthday or whatever. They expect once they let the world know, the universe, in this case, probably their parents, once it's out there, they expect it to show up. That's just the way they live. And they're already enjoying life because they figure when that time comes, it's done. It's not something I have to keep asking for. It's done. And we have to be that way in our life also. But this attachment thing, make sure you recognize it. It's the same thing as far as in relationships. If you get yourself attached to an individual and you start to tell yourself, which the world again tries to tell people this is a good thing, if you start to tell yourself, I can't live without them and I can't, folks, not a good place to be. I know some of you disagree with that and probably mad that I said that, but you can't. The reality is because if they decide to detach themselves from the relationship, what you gonna do? Think about it. What you gonna do? If you've attached them as being your world, I can't live without them, and they decide, oh, but I can live without you, and they move on, what you gonna do now? See, the reality is there's a difference, and I've said this before, and I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail here, but I tell people there's a difference between a need and a want. I want to be in a relationship where I'm wanted. I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm needed, because that puts me on one or two sides. If I'm the person that's needed, then I'm like, and I've used this before. I'm going to tell the story. If I'm the person that needs that person, then I become like the drug addict, where I'm going to them to say, fix me. I need this. I need this. And they have the choice on whether to give me or not. It's not a good place to be in. And if I'm a person that wants somebody in that situation, then first I need to gut check myself and see that I got some issues, that I want to put somebody in a position where they need me, like the drug dealer. And for me to have that kind of power over somebody, to want that kind of power over someone else, is another way you have to think about that. So the difference is, I want to be in relationships with people who want to be with me. I don't want you to be in a need situation or feel you're in a need situation, because again, that becomes what we just talked about, the drug dealer or the drug user. Either way, I don't want to fit that. So the bottom line is, we have to learn to become aware of our emotions, aware of our attachments. That way we can learn how to detach. And folks, that's not a negative. Please don't think because I'm telling you detach from having to need that person, that means you care less about that person. Intimacy has nothing to do with that. That needing is taking yourself to an extreme. The intimacy is because I want you in my life and I enjoy having you in my life. And it brings us closer together because of that. But I have to be able at the same time, if we get into that intimate state and you decide to move away from that intimate state, I still got to be able to move forward. That's why you see people, when they lose a loved one, their lives stop pretty much. And it's because they had an attachment to that person, to the fact that they are their life. And because that person is no longer there, they feel like life is not worth living. Folks, it's not a good place to be, and I hope you guys understand what I'm getting to. This is not trying to be I don't want to, what's the word? That I'm not being caring or anything like that. It's for your health's sake, for you to be able to move forward. You got to be able to become aware of the emotions. And again, I'm not blocking them. Folks, that's the worst thing you can do, is try to block any emotions, because they are what they are. You're not trying to block the thoughts. They are what they are. What we're doing is we're becoming aware of those, separating ourselves from those emotions, those thoughts, those feelings, so that we can take control of our lives. And I hope that's clear, kind of what I'm saying. It's not that we're going to fight any of this stuff. We're just going to learn how not to attach ourselves to those things so that we can become more peaceful in our life. So as you guys know, it ain't right, it ain't wrong. It is my opinion. Run over and grab my app. It's over at Simplified You. You, the letter U, not the word U. Simplified You. It's in the Google Play Store. It's also in the Apple Store. It's a free download, and that'll keep you in contact with everything that I have going on now. So as you guys know, if you're not having fun, you should be doing something else. Learn not to attach yourself to these things. Learn how to detach. But first step, we have to become aware of them, and then we can move from there. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.